Okay, welcome back to the podcast, my wonderful brothers.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, it's purely my pleasure to host.
Are you the host? Is that what we figured out?
I've got center stage today, so I feel like I am the important one.
Are we doing like a switch off situation, like we're rotating constantly?
Well, why not?
All right.
Now, honestly, we might skip you for the next one.
I think that's a good idea. Sam let his little bit of his ego go a little bit, and now he's taking on.
This is my bad side, so I'm sacrificing a lot. But
Yeah, we can all see it.
What we wanted to do with this podcast, though, specifically, is to kind of like take a look back at our childhood, let you guys kind of get to know us, and maybe we can recount some memories together growing up as brothers. We thought that that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
would be pretty exciting.
So,
I mean, we've obviously had a lot of good memories. I feel like for me, I have trouble like remembering sometimes, and I wish that I had done more remembering. So note to the kids out there, write things down, because you're going to want to remember these stories when you're older. Even if it's something bad, I feel like, I'm not saying have a journal or a diary. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to push any agendas here. But
I will push an agenda.
Just,
make a diary.
Write things down. That's all.
yeah, I think it has helped us that our parents recorded a lot. And so we have some videos we can look back on and kind of like, oh, right, I forgot that happened. Which is, yeah,
I think it's weird because, like Joe said, I know our parents recorded a lot. My dad created like almost like a recap video for every single year, starting at like 2000, and he still does it. So there's tons of those videos. And it's almost like I can't distinguish my memories from the videos. Like my memories are from the videos.
Yeah.
And then I talk about them like they're my memories. I don't remember anything from my childhood.
You're hijacking the videos.
Seriously, like when I think of memories from my childhood, I think of things I've seen in the family video, which might be why I don't remember things from my childhood, because I've subconsciously relied on the videos.
You've got the best memory of anybody.
Ooh.
Because it's like, I remember coming straight out of the womb. I was there just crying on the table.
Yeah, I never said the videos were PG, guys.
Yeah. I was thinking though, thinking back to childhood, I realized something that I don't think we've ever talked about. All three of us have, in some manner, been close to dying.
That's true.
Oh, snap. So I know Sam's was like clear.
Yeah. Do you know mine?
I was
almost died few times. What about
really?
you guys?
Okay, so let's just take it one at a time. Sam, how did you almost die?
I think I hijacked Zach's joke.
Yeah, it's over. I was gonna be like, oh, because I was gonna murder you, ha ha ha. And then it's people talking.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all good. I'm just gonna murder you now.
Hey, there's still time.
So we're gonna do this. All right,
wow.
Go ahead. So yeah, do you want to kick us? Oh, I'm here. Wait, you have one too?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Would I remember this?
I don't know.
Wait, and wait, was mine recent?
We'll come to you.
Okay, I really don't. We'll have to have Joe tell me.
Yeah. Yours is kind of the most exciting, but I don't know if you would have died.
I don't know either. I think I have one, but I don't know if that's what you're thinking. Anyway,
Okay.
Sam, kick us off here, because you got to.
I think Sam was the one who was actually closest to dying.
Well, yeah, I mean,
do you actually remember?
Didn't you eat poison?
No.
No. Okay.
I ate something that was poisonous.
That's fair. That could be different. I mean, they're pretty similar, I feel like.
So there's that. I was thinking,
it's like I didn't stab the guy. I just put the knife inside of him. That's like, it's like
oh wow. That is not the same thing. No. It's like I didn't stab the guy, but I like did the motion
and propelled it through his chest hole. Is that what you're saying?
No, just towards his chest.
You just had one of those like breakaway knives that just like went into itself. So like you did the action, but you didn't actually stab.
Yes,
maybe.
I don't know about that. But anyways, Sam, tell us about your poison or poisonous experience. Do you even know what the story is? Did we record this? Dad, did you get this on video?
No, this was actually traumatic.
He's not gonna remember right now.
So there were two when I was like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
The first one was when I was born. I almost died at birth because for some reason, like I couldn't, I didn't breathe for like 15 minutes.
You came out blue.
I came out like a Smurf.
is not good.
Not good,
If
people.
anyone
Not
was
good.
wondering.
But the umbilical cord wasn't wrapped around my neck for some reason. Like once I was pushed from the
I think it's the Cape Cod Canal.
Which
I was
is,
trying to say something funny, but I was like, no, I just dug myself into a hole here. Anyways,
we live on Cape Cod, so that's how that.
That that's a local joke. That would only
Yeah.
inside joke. Anyways, so I came out completely blue, and the doctors were like, well, what's going on? So they brought me into the intensive care for babies and just resuscitated me by giving me CPR. And they told mom and dad later, if they had waited like a few more seconds, I would have died. So, and they would have just called me. I would have just been a stillbirth.
Okay.
But they don't know why I wasn't breathing.
Really, they don't. That's
No.
interesting. I have not actually explored. They don't know why.
Well, I mean, normally when kids
Yeah.
babies can't breathe, it's because
They
they got choked
Yeah.
somehow. But obviously, like the umbilical cord was wrapped around their neck, but it wasn't for me.
So it wasn't that you couldn't, because I know they have to get the babies to cry to just breathe, but it really was just that you couldn't breathe.
I couldn't breathe. Yeah, I don't know. Something must have happened on the way out. Yeah. But it's pretty funny, honestly, thinking back on it.
Well,
And I get the most sympathy from mom because I'm her little Moses baby.
Moses
Her little,
baby.
you know,
Because of your hair?
Moses was spared from all. What?
Wait, because of your hair. I don't know. What was your, like, Moses was spared from what?
Just how like Moses was spared from like all the other babies who did get murdered by the Egyptians. There was that one who survived.
So oxygen was like the pharaoh of your story.
Yes.
Life was against him. Oxygen was like just nothing. It was,
What's the... Oh, that's Moses' line, let my people go.
Yeah.
So that was like Sam's...
well, mom finished pushing, and then she was like, let my people go.
Yeah, so what's funny about that, Sam, is that I forgot about that story.
So that's what I
like-
was thinking about.
Okay, I brought up the poison because
Yeah.
I can think of two scenarios where you essentially poisoned yourself.
Yes.
I don't know what detail, like what if that technically is, but I would call poisoning.
Yeah,
I don't want to
those were the
spoil
ones
it.
I was thinking.
I wouldn't say that he was close to death, but
But it wasn't ideal. Like it's
no,
like you know what I
absolutely
mean.
not. Absolutely not. Do you ever just look back and be like, wow, like I'm here, and like does it give you more gratitude?
That's a good question.
Well, I don't remember it. If I remembered it, absolutely.
Okay, so it looking back on it, you're not like you're either way. Like I could have died, I could have lived, whatever. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if I died, I'd be in heaven. So
Okay.
Whatever.
He's pretty chill about it.
pretty chill about it.
With the poison story though, what happened?
Okay, so I'll tell the one that's more interesting. Basically, I had eaten my papa's heart medication pills. So basically what happened was...
And how old were you?
I was probably... No, I was 2 because it was the day... I'm
Well,
getting ahead
you
of myself.
get-
I'm getting ahead of
yeah,
myself.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So basically, according to my mom, which told me the story, I must have climbed... No one was around, so I walked into my grandparents' bedroom that they have when they were here.
Yeah, the guest room.
Yeah, in our house when they're in the guest room. Yeah, and I climbed up a dresser and grabbed my papa's heart medication off the dresser, and I just ate them.
Yeah.
So that is not healthy. I don't know.
And I have a part of that story. So I was in the living room and I was playing, I think, with like Matchbox cars or something. And so I was playing, and I remember it was either mom or dad, and they were like, "Hey Joe, can you go check on Sam?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." But I didn't.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
John, you killed me.
And so I'm on the floor. Did you know this, Sam?
No. What?
See, I was gonna check on you, but I got distracted and I was playing.
Hey, I understand. I am the king of distracted.
So eventually, mom asked me again, and I was like, "Oh right, I forgot." And then it was, you had a reputation when you were younger of if you were quiet for a while, it meant you were getting into trouble. And so
Yes.
when mom realized that I hadn't checked on you, and it had been, I don't know, they hadn't seen you for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. Like that's how dramatic it
I
was.
thought you were gonna say a couple hours.
No,
like
no,
no,
no.
10 minutes. Like, oh no.
At that point, there was like, oh no, okay, everybody go find him. And so people go run, and I don't know who found you. It could have been mom, could have been dad, but the problem was they found you, and then I don't know if you had spilt some, but they checked and confirmed that there were multiple like heart medication pills gone, and that you must have eaten them. So I just wanted to let you know and confess my part that I had to do with that.
It's okay, Joe.
Yeah, this is good. This is healing.
Yeah.
This is good. Like I'll be the priest, the Catholic priest here, and I'll like. Is that how that works?
What?
Well, like confession time.
It's called group therapy, Zach.
There's that.
Yeah.
I also feel like I should be laying down, telling you guys.
That's
too.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
But continue with the story. So
anyways,
you ended up getting poisoned.
Yes. So once I got poisoned, basically my Nana was here. So I got brought to the hospital, and my Nana was staying with me on the first floor, I believe, of the Falmouth Hospital, and she was with me. And my one memory, like my earliest memory of childhood, is having a red toe. A red toe.
Are you sure it's your earliest memory?
It is my earliest memory.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I'm serious.
Good.
It's weird because seriously, no. What it was Nana was. I just remember Nana saying, "Sam, look, you have a red toe," and I was like, "I have a red toe," because they had to shine a little light. For some reason, they had to shine a little. They put something on my toe.
Yep.
And there was a little red light, and I had a red left big toe, and I was like, "I have a red toe."
Yeah, it was kind of like shining through your toe or something.
Probably, I don't know.
I kind of remember.
I think they were doing like they were doing the cat move on you, like you shine the laser and it just distracts the cat, and he's like, they're probably doing that with your toe.
that was the whole reason.
That was the whole point.
No, I thought
they were
there was
just
a
like,
point to that.
I don't know, to just put a flashlight on the kid's toe.
Dang it, that might actually been what it was.
It'll be his first memory. It'll be his first memory, and he will tell this on a podcast. 16 years later.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were doing.
14.
So the heart medication, I think, would have really messed up with such a 2-year-old's heart. Like, I think it was a really bad situation.
So what I had to do, I had to swallow. No, I think I'm getting my stories mixed up.
No,
because then I had to swallow charcoal.
Yeah,
that was for the.
I think you had to do it both times. I think that's what they do when they need to cleanse your system. I don't exactly know how it
works. I swallowed charcoal, and apparently it was very uncomfortable. I don't remember it, thank goodness, but I did not enjoy it.
Tell the other time you poisoned yourself.
Well,
people are.
I'm not.
Don't.
There's still a little bit more.
There's still more to the story. So basically,
is?
The reason my Nana was with me on the first floor was because my dad had to go up to the second floor to be with my mom, who was going into labor with my younger sister. So this was all happening at the exact same time. So basically, my dad was going back and forth between the floors, just checking on us. And then once he knew that I was good and I was taken care of and I'd be fine, he stayed up there with mom and gave birth to my younger sister, Bella, and who's 2 years younger than me. So yeah, that was a crazy story. Like, what a way.
Can you imagine putting yourself in dad's situation?
Someone into the world.
Like, okay, my son's trying to poison himself here.
If he dies, I'll still have 3 kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, well, Plan B is on the way. Is she blue? Nope, we're good. All right, sweet. Okay. So that was quite the story there. With you basically. That was the start of a long journey of drugs and abuse for you.
I wonder.
Which has been a problem, obviously, and we're working him off that. Obviously, we can get into that more, but
I wonder if you put mom into labor, like the stress of it all, like her son.
I don't know how that works.
I have no idea how labor gets started, but
I'm pretty sure it's a natural thing.
Yeah, but I think there are things you can do to speed it up, I think.
Interesting.
I've heard some things.
I learned this from a Studio C sketch. You do figure eights on a yoga ball.
Yeah, I have a yoga ball downstairs. He was doing that earlier today. Not joking. And it was disturbing because I was like, Sam, if your stomach starts to rumble right now, I don't want this. This is not what I want to happen. So anyways, that's little anecdote for you. You're welcome there. You can stop now. Thank you. All right. For the audience's sake.
And then,
take it.
Oh, you were mentioning just the other time you poisoned yourself. You can make it brief, but
I ate deadly nightshade berries.
I love how nonchalant you are. It's
It was no big
yeah,
deal.
I popped
no
it.
big deal. Look. It's no big deal. I just juiced them down. I drank it. I put a cherry on top of the little umbrella. I was out in the lawn chair in the backyard. Dad came out. I was like, Sam, what are you doing? I had to like grab a ladder to get in the lawn chair. Just this little 2-year-old is popping deadly nightshade berries. Pretending I was like Caesar Augustus on the couch with my bowl of grapes.
You made a smoothie?
I did.
You take the... That's
Put some honey in it.
wow.
Obviously nutrition. Don't be ridiculous.
And you had a little dandelion coming out at the top.
Yeah, a little lemon or yeah.
Yeah, so I think the same thing is you had to go back in and they charcoaled you, or you had to eat charcoal,
believe.
or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm sure we're getting some of these small details wrong, but the overall thing is Sam's tried to kill himself multiple times. Unintentionally, I think. I mean, he was young.
Oh, goodness.
Unintentional, but good night. I mean, this kid, like...
I've tried to overdose twice.
That's terrible. Wow.
Sick. Wow.
Fortunately for us, that has not happened again with you. Like, you don't have any more stories, right? Of
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's good. So
If there are, I'll let you know.
You know what we see is we see progress here. That's the good news.
That's
That's
we
what
go.
we see. We
There we
see
go.
he was, if this is the stock market, he was way down here, and then there were a couple dips where it's like, oh boy, this company might be going bankrupt.
And then he accepted Jesus and he went right up.
boom, right? And then that,
If only that were true.
No, well, I mean,
well, which
I
part? Yeah, that sounds really
yeah.
bad. It's like,
No, that I just went right up
yeah, I
after I
know.
accepted
It sounds like
Jesus.
you were saying, if only I accepted Jesus. I was like,
If only.
yeah. So what's your dead story? Like, is this
So it is definitely not as exciting as your death stories.
Somehow I beg to differ.
set your expectations? Is kind of what you're saying.
So I'm curious if you guys know this. I know Mom and Dad remember because it kind of was a little traumatic. For
I know
them.
what it is. I know what it is.
Just we were going home late one night. I asked to bring an orange on the ride home.
Yeah.
And we were driving in the minivan, and I was the only one sitting in the like third row back, and then you guys were like up front. And I was maybe seven or eight, 6 or 7 actually, probably. And I was just eating my oranges, and it was dark out. You couldn't really see anything, and I choked, and I couldn't breathe. Luckily, I was able to kind of like work it out like on my own. I didn't like right there start giving myself CPR because obviously I was more scared than anything. And then I just remember being like, I just choked. And then Mom and Dad were like, both like, wait, what? Like, you should tell us. Or, hey, by the way, I'm choking.
Mom and Dad, I'm choking. I can't talk.
No, it was so much. I couldn't breathe. So they're like, no, you should have banged on the window or something. But I just remember that like, I don't know how long it actually was. I couldn't breathe. I probably missed a breath or two. So it really wasn't long at all. Like,
Had you never held your breath?
no, it was, but you know how like you're eating and then you're just like, it's fully taken out of you.
No, I got you.
You know exactly the feeling of
I
almost,
understand.
no.
Of almost time. No.
I have to say though, if you have to go out, don't you pass out pretty quick?
I mean, I'm not saying it's the worst way, but I think we
I
could
feel
probably...
like every way of dying is probably horrible and horrendously painful.
So we're gonna-
But it's just some seem a little more bad than others.
We're going to try that out today, so come on in. All right. We have ourselves a professional.
I would have to beg to differ. I bet some like on death row stuff. I bet that stuff is pretty.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Just go to sleep and then you don't wake up.
Isn't there like meta injection stuff? Yeah, like
Well,
there's...
but that's poison. Like that's gonna hurt though. Poison that's killing you from the inside out.
I don't think he's saying it's fun. It's not like...
Yeah, no.
You know.
I'm just saying at least.
Tickles.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty accurate.
Okay, that got.
Yeah, this
that
is
got
getting dark. Wow.
I'm curious if you remember. I have to say, I wouldn't have guaranteed that you died, but it would have been bad.
Well, okay, I had a question before we go to me.
Okay.
I know... Oh, man, I know what it is. Wow. I know... I was thinking about the story. I know what story you're thinking of.
Okay.
That's not what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. But did you? So I was probably in the car, and I think I was like, "Hey Joe, you should try to eat this whole orange in one bite."
Well, see, I didn't want to tell mom and dad that because I know how it was to be blamed for my brother being poisoned. I didn't want to put it on you, so I was being the true big brother.
Wait, seriously? Were you blamed? Like, did you get in trouble for letting me be poisoned?
No, not purely for you. Like, there was blame to go around to everybody, but certainly I had a part to do with it. I was not obeying my parents, I was not being prompt.
Yeah, that was 3 spanks, right? Or was it 5?
Mom went right into labor, and I do not remember an actual discipline.
You're just like sitting at home, please, Jesus, let them forget about it.
No.
Please.
See, for my type of discipline is if I knew my parents were disappointed in me, that was enough discipline for me.
Me
So
too. Yeah.
I felt the disappointment.
Yeah.
Because obviously
Do not share that.
the other
quality.
favorite son was dying. So
Right.
Yeah.
That takes precedent at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach was purely liked for his looks. He was the cutest, but no one liked it. No one liked him.
Well, that's
That
what
is-
Mom told me, at least.
No, when she came out, she's like, "Oh, make him prettier."
Wow. Yeah. That's
What's that goop?
I have
That's
to say,
yucky.
growing up, we tried to always get mom to pick a favorite, and she never did.
That's true.
So
I'm pretty convinced I've had a couple times where I'm like, okay, you said I'm your favorite, and it's so I think on the record I can say I can't say it officially, like I can't sign the document kind of thing,
yeah.
but I think we know who it is.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes, we know who it is.
So we're gonna have her on at some point, and we'll have this discussion, I'm sure, because this is hot topic.
She loves
stuff.
all of us the same, but she likes Joe the least.
No, see, I think we should all come up with our reasons why we're the best son, and we'll present it to her.
100%. That's a great idea. Do like a courtroom situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Order at the court.
Yeah. So back to your story. You couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So you were back there just kind of doing your thing.
Oh yeah, I was doing my thing, just not breathing.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Luckily, God had a different plan.
That's
than
right.
Just me passing out and dying. So, I mean, there's always a good thing to a almost death story
Yeah.
because it means you don't die, and normally that's good.
That's a fair.
Well, the
point.
thing is, at least you remembered it. Like I don't remember any of my stories.
Yeah, I have to say though, like I'm more sensitive on choking now. Like it was a little
You ever
bit.
eat oranges anymore?
No, I do, but I'm more specific on like I don't know. I get more nervous around it.
Yeah. I will say I've had instances where like you're eating like a meat and like there's a fatty part that I swallow part of it, but then part of it's still in my mouth, so I'm like,
Yeah.
so I can still half breathe.
Oh yeah.
But it's just like I have to reach down in my throat and pull it out.
Or you hope I'm gonna swallow the rest of it and it's not gonna fully choke me.
Yeah, see, I'm scared. Like I don't want to swallow the rest of it. I feel like that's gonna fully choke me.
Yeah.
Is that why your neck is so big? Because you just keep a bunch of chicken fat in your neck? Is it just stored up? Is that what's going on? Is that what's up down here? Okay.
No, I actually really like oranges. I'm just a lot more
Really?
careful now.
So that's interesting. You still like the taste.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. All right. See, we're learning things here. I don't know if you wanted to know that.
Yeah.
But Joe, breaking news, Joe likes oranges.
And orange juice with pulp. I used to not like the with pulp part.
Really?
I like the pulp now.
That's big.
Yeah,
that's
that's
big.
Do you like the pulp?
No.
I mean,
Really?
I mean, I guess I could live either way, but gross.
What's your? I'm curious what you think.
it
of.
was not. It was definitely not fruit related. I can guarantee that. So I actually have two. Then I guess the first one was what you were thinking of. Was when I was younger. So when I was probably 8, 9, I don't know.
I think you were a little younger.
Was I younger? I may have been.
If we're
younger.
talking about the same story.
Yeah, I was probably maybe 7. We'll say 7. It really doesn't matter, actually. No one's going to fact check me like, wait a minute, I was there, and that's not, I doubt that was happening. So we'll say I was 7. And walking on a jetty.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So walking out on a jetty, which for those who don't live by a beach and are dumb, a jetty is...
It's an airplane that's stuck out into the water.
It's close. It's like it's a group of rocks that all just really wanted to hang out, And so like, hey, let's all hang out. And then they came together and they're like, oh no, we can't leave.
We made baby rocks.
And then it's just exploded. And so that's basically what it is. It's a big rock pile going out into the water.
That normally gets covered up at high tide and then is like a thing you can climb out on into the water at low tide.
At low tide.
Basically.
I think technically a jetty could be any material, but
Oh, really?
I
So that makes sense.
it's a rock jetty.
It jets out into the water.
Say that.
Yeah, so it was a jetty of oranges.
No.
Oranges and deadly
And
nightshade berries.
We were out there because we used to low tide. We'd flip over rocks and like go find crabs and stuff, like fill up buckets because we're on the ocean here.
That's true. That was a pastime for us.
Yeah.
That's so crazy to think. We would just go with like 7 minutes down the road and just go and find crabs. I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, at the most they were like that big.
Yeah, they were
but
small.
They were small, but it was a fun thing. We just go, oh, there's one. You grab it, throw it in the bucket, and I think we just would let them go at the end. Like it's not like
Yeah.
we could cook them or anything.
I don't know. But we also found some cool other stuff. Do you remember, Sam? Do you remember anything else we found?
So I remember a family video of when we got crabs and an eel or something.
Yep. So we actually. Do you remember the eel?
Now you say it's familiar, but
There was twice we were able to find the eel. So you just flip over the rock, and there was enough water there for the eel to be there,
wow.
and then once we did, his dad actually caught a lobster.
Oh yeah, I remember
You
that.
don't remember
That was in the
that?
family video, right?
I remember that. That was in a family video.
I don't remember that.
It was sizable.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't massive, but it was a good sized lobster.
That's pretty sweet.
That was more. He waded in the water a little bit. Oh, that is
okay.
a little bit more of a funny story. He was a little further in the water, and like, I particularly, you might have been there. I don't know. Was following him, and he flipped over a rock, and he's like, "Lobster!" He yells out, and I get scared, and so I start running back. But the problem is, like, it's like the rocks are all you're doing is walking on rocks.
Yeah.
And so I start like running backwards through like waters up to like my thighs and knees, and I'm not like in a bathing suit. I don't think like I'm not like we're just kind of wading in, and I just hit a rock and I just fall backwards, and then I'm scrambling. I got so scared.
Wow. I don't think a lobster has ever scared anyone that much. That sounded like
Probably not.
Were you, like,
desperation. Like it's
seven?
It's like when a surfer hears shark.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent
Just
of Joe
go,
hears
go, go,
lobster.
go.
Just go. Whatever you do, run. Go. It's gonna eat us.
I just remember Dad came up with holding the lobster and laughing at me because I fell in the water.
That's a good memory. Wow. I wish I remember that. That's really funny. That's great. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
So giving some preface of what we were doing there.
Yeah, that's right. I never actually told the part where I almost bit the bucket. Basically, I was walking on the jetty, a little bit of this, and I was like slipped, and I was like, and then kind of like almost there was.
And then he fell and died.
There was a banana peel. Oh, so fruit related actually a little bit. It's a banana peel now, and so I slipped.
Just picture it cartoon.
Yeah, very, very like whoop, with the sound and legs flat. So and I fell backwards basically, and somehow Dad. It was like one of those crazy dad moments, which
We had nets that we were using to scoop up the crabs, and he had like a little like kids lacrosse net.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it
okay,
was.
so it was a lacrosse net. Okay, and so he basically grabbed, somehow reached out, and it was probably a good 5 feet away. I would think.
I
at least.
think he was like fully extended to catch you.
and he caught my head with the lacrosse stick.
like right
Really?
as you were about to hit the
Wow.
rock
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
him.
Like if my head was a watermelon, he caught it before it cracked open.
Yes. So I don't know if you would have died, but it would have been really bad.
It was enough where it would have been a hospital visit, and depending on how those things go.
He would have been more mentally impaired than he is now.
Possibly, I don't know. Maybe I would be like a secret genius or something.
that would have knocked it all correct, like knocked it all like in order for you.
I don't know. Maybe my dad really messed it up by saving my life. Who knows? I don't.
I doubt it.
Yeah, that's unlikely, but
So I do think you were young. I think you were closer to like 5.
it's possible. Yeah.
So I do. So I'm only saying that because like I feel like the younger you are, the more that big of an injury would be a little bit more
Serious.
deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of memory of it. Like it was
Especially
very,
on
I
the
just have-
beach, like that'd be difficult
For what?
if he was on the beach, you know,
To get medical
help,
treatment?
to get help.
Yeah, well, he was so small that Dad could have picked him up, but
yeah, no, it wouldn't have been. It was
I feel
more-
like if you hit your head and he didn't catch you, would have hit your head, you got knocked out, and then fallen into the rocks.
yeah, because they're big boulders. So, do you remember if you fell back on the same rock?
no, it was a different rock.
So,
I'm pretty
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
you probably would have fallen into like the cracks of the
Possibly.
jetty.
Yeah. Well, you would have heard me screaming. That's not, that's
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Dad would have to climb into the rocks. And,
It's just crazy. It's one of the because I'm pretty sure it was just like it happened instantaneously. You just slipped because there's a lot of seaweed and
Yeah, the
they're
rocks-
all wet.
the rocks get slippery. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so, and Dad let us climb on it. It was really fun, and just he was able to catch you when that one bad time happened. It's crazy that he caught you with like this kid's lacrosse.
Oh yeah,
net.
and it's just right on my head too. Like the only spot. If he did my shoulders, it probably wouldn't help. Like anything like that was crazy. Yeah. So I'm not gonna give him credit or anything because I would have survived because I'm my own man. You got that, Dad?
You were 5 years old. I think you're allowed to give a little credit to your father.
It's I actually forgot
helping your
about that. That's
safety.
crazy. I gotta yeah. That's a crazy story.
when you give Dad's eulogy one day, you'll bring that up.
That's probably good actually. That's a good.
Wait,
thought.
why
I'm
do
gonna
you
write
get
that
to
down.
give his eulogy?
I don't know. I'm his favorite son because he saved my life. Did he save yours?
He didn't kill him at least.
I think that's considered saving my life. He restrained himself. Good job, Dad.
So
This has been kind of dark.
yeah, it has been a little darker.
We are all happy to be here. We
Yes.
would like people
We're
to know
all
that.
alive.
It's a lot of sarcasm. I think.
Yeah.
So if you can
Dry.
see through the sarcasm. Nana, thanks for making Dad with long arms. Is I think what we're trying to say. So
Hey, well, the genes ended up working out in that instance.
yeah, exactly. So that was obviously the big one. And then, or like not the big one, but the one in my childhood. That at least I remember. I'm sure we've had other instances too where it's been not ideal situations.
Yeah.
But in general, we haven't had a lot of like horrible. Oh, actually, we've had accidents.
But not.
but-
But I felt like that was pretty major.
Yeah, that one was more
would've
major
been.
than most of them for sure. The other one was last year I got Lyme disease and some medication mishaps and was close to the old biting of the bucket.
He was not gonna die. He just felt like he was gonna die, but he wasn't. Okay,
Dude,
describe what you felt. Like, describe that, because I don't think you were gonna die, but
I think this is very interesting because I knew you had Lyme disease, but I had no idea that there was a little medical, like just figuring out.
Did
what
I not tell you?
Oh, I have no idea about
Oh,
this.
dude, this was a story.
I don't know if you even told me you had. You might have maybe mentioned. Oh no, you did tell me you had Lyme's, but it was after it all. I just heard through the grapevine that you weren't feeling well and that you were sick.
Grapevine.
Yeah, so this is part of why doing the podcast, because we actually need to communicate
Right,
together.
we're trying to learn about and you know what I realized is my story is totally fruit related. Lyme disease. I mean, come on, that's hilarious. Like I can't make that up. It literally limes. Yeah. So there you go. Mine is fruit related, and so fruit tried to kill me, just like Joe.
Tell us the
His is
story.
oranges, mine are limes. Sam's is drugs, and so we all have our own cross to bear. I think
You know what? He had the little berry fruit.
that's true. Yeah, poison nightshade berries is
Yeah,
what they're
yeah,
called.
Deadly.
Deadly poison.
Deadly
dead-
nightshade berries.
Is that deadly? Okay.
Yes.
They had to make sure in the name. They're like, just to make sure you don't want to eat them, we're going to actually put what they do to you. They will dead you in the name. Is what they're
Exactly.
saying. Yeah. Okay.
Dead. D-E-D.
Well, yeah, he didn't dead.
So tell us the story of that.
Well,
Zach.
I am interested. Like, I'm glad to know that you're here, and like, I'm honestly very happy that like Sam didn't end up having to call me and say, "Hey, by the way, Zach passed. And I would have been like,
Dude.
I have no, and Sam, like, I have no idea what happened. Sam would be like, you realize this has been happening for the past 6 months. He's been sick and like,
No, it's not.
I think this is getting dark.
No, listen, I'm gonna keep it brief and try not to let this go on because I realize it's like we're nearing the end of the podcast, and this is not how we. I don't feel like this is how we want to end the podcast. But hey, you know what?
Yeah,
Listen, life. Here's the moral of the story: life isn't always cherries and peaches. Okay, I think. Back to the fruit, man. Wow.
When life gives you limes.
Life gives you limes. Deal with it or die. Well, no. So Lyme disease isn't necessarily fatal. I think it possibly can be. I looked up the worst situation, but it's no fun. So we were just like, as soon as I found out that I had it, basically it was we caught it early on, thankfully. So it wasn't, the Lyme was never really an issue, but it was more that I got some very strong medicine to counteract the Lyme situation, I think, or take care of that or whatever.
Okay.
And that was the rough situation because certain situations I hadn't eaten that day or something, and then I was like, because you weren't supposed to eat before you had it or something, and I hadn't eaten for a while longer, but for hours before that or something. So then I took it, and then it just was like, my body just was not, and it's a very strong medicine, and so it's meant to kind of kill this thing. And
it was half poisoning you.
I've never felt like that before. That's what I say is like the closest I felt to death. Which, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, it was the weirdest thing. It was probably the weirdest experience I've ever had. Don't do drugs, kids. Cause it was very, like, I had to, this is going to get kind of gross, I guess, but I had to, puke. Is that the vomit? I don't know what's the best way. Throw up. There it is. That's the best way. Okay. I was like, go through all the gross names, trying to keep it as classy as possible. Throw up. And I just was trying for everything in me to hold it in so I wouldn't have to take this again. So I was like, that was just the beginning. And there goes another one of our lights. Losing batteries here.
Off.
Yeah. It's like, all right, we're time to end the, all right. So, and so, it was nausea, and it was like this weird cycle. Like it was going through a roller coaster of all these different, every single symptom that you could have of something, it happened. So nausea, heart, trouble breathing. My heart was pattering,
beating out of its chest. Almost?
Well, it was
like double?
skipping beats.
Wow.
Skipping beats. Trouble breathing, dizziness, blurred vision.
Wow.
I was sweating down my face. I was like cold sweat, so I had actual sweat rolling down my face.
Weren't you shivering?
I was shivering. And they walked in. I remember I could still hear things, but I couldn't really move.
Okay.
And they were like, "Wow, he's so white." And so apparently I
remember
no blood.
that.
And
he was so pale. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like a ghost on steroids.
It was funny because if you had died, I would have felt so bad because at that point, me and Bella were like, "Zach, you're taking forever. We want to go watch Thor Ragnarok. What are you doing?" Seriously. And we were like, when mom, I think mom was like, "Yeah, it's probably not going to happen tonight." Me and Bella were like, "Dang it, Zach! Come on, Zach. If he had died, I'd been like, the last thing I probably said to you was, "Suck it up."
Yeah.
He was just on his deathbed, and Sam's like, "I want to watch Thor." Zach's like,
"Hey, it would have been appropriate. That's Zach's favorite Marvel movie, so
Yeah, and I would have been like, "Dude, I'm just trying not to meet Thor right now. Okay, can we just focus on this?"
Okay.
It was kind of crazy. So went through a lot of other symptoms as well. I forget there was some other numbness of legs and arms too. That one was creepy.
So that's why you couldn't move?
Well, it wasn't. I just couldn't. I just had nothing in me. There was no
energy?
It was gone. Like it was. That's what I mean by weird. It's like it's hard to explain what it was like.
I know somewhat of the feeling. I got sick enough one time, not so dramatic, because you poisoned yourself with, like, your body reacted badly to that. But I've got a sickness so bad where, I was like nerves. I've permanently damaged some of my nerves.
Wow.
The sickness. It's not terrible, but I can notice it now. Still.
Is it, you think it was like the flu or something weird?
It was something along those lines, and I had it for like 2 weeks, and I had it really, really bad. But I never went to the doctor. And after it all said and done, I was older. I was probably like 17. And after all said and done, like I didn't tell really anybody. Mom knew I was sick, but I was just up in my bed. And after it, I was like talking about it, like just how bad it was. And like I had no energy whatsoever. Mom's like, we probably should have taken you to the doctor. But like but I was just saying, I understand the concept of having absolutely no energy.
Yeah.
I think it gives you a perspective if you sit back and give a second to think about it. Like, you know what? It allows you to live your life a little differently, knowing how fragile life is.
100%. Yeah, I remember, because just to finish my story is just that it all happened within like 20 minutes or a half hour. So I went through all of these crazy symptoms super quickly, and it was just for like each one to be a minute or two long, and then ended, just finally it basically left me. Like, it was the weirdest. And I stood up, I kind of got my balance. I was like, okay. And after that, it was just like, I almost felt invigorated in a weird way. I was like, I felt like good. And it was like, I almost felt like I was boxing death in the ring. I was like, yeah, I got a few punches in. All right.
What was it was Jacob fighting the angel.
And maybe that's like really prideful and stuff, because obviously we're all going to die. But I don't know. That was just a little thing I remember. There was something about it where it's like, I've never had that. And so it was kind of cool to see that. And so to your point, it made me go, wow, it's, life is fragile, and it's good to have those reminders. And to then you go, okay, man, I really got to take advantage of this,
And I think you had it was nice that you were like, oh, I have the resilience, I can come back. Yeah. And like it sounded like that was
right.
Like
it wasn't like a 3 weeks in, down and out kind of thing, slowly recover. It was just a situation where I poisoned myself, and I was able to survive it, essentially. And I think once the poison's out of you, I mean, I'm not a poison expert. We've been talking a lot about poison, but I don't do that often. So yeah, so that's kind of the story there.
And you know what? That night we still watched Thor Ragnarok.
Wait,
did we really?
We did. Remember?
I don't. That's hilarious.
I just remember that before this all happened, you were making a plate of food, and you're like, oh, I have to take my medication. So your food was just sitting there while all this was going down.
I like the idea that you were like, I'm like half dying in there, and you just keep eyeing my food. It's like, is he going to eat that? Is he going to eat that?
It is funny. That's what he remembers.
I love that. That's so great. Yeah. So I guess we the story ended well. I guess we watched the movie, and so we lived happily ever after. So anyways, yeah. So that's my near-death story.
We all kind of said a couple where not all of them were purely we were going to die, but I don't know. I think it was kind of fun. We talked about kind of some stuff, and we kind of each brought in points of view of the situation that, like, you didn't know that I was half responsible for you poisoning yourself. You didn't know that Sam was watching your food like a hawk.
That's true. I didn't know that he was lusting over my food.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, if you had died, I probably would have eaten your food later.
It looked that good.
Dude, honestly, I would have been honored. Like, that's the way it needs to happen.
I'm just like, I can't believe he's gone. Swordfish.
Dude, do you actually remember that's what he was eating?
No, that was the first thing that came to my head.
That would be incredible. You're like, yeah. Oh, man. That's good.
When I'm giving your eulogy, it's just like, oh, I cannot believe he died, but man, that chicken was good.
That was worth the second plate.
Oh my goodness, he left some good stuff behind, let me tell you. Joe, you can have the money. I want the chicken.
They talk about... Wow. They talk about everything good you leave by in your leave back in your legacy, and Sam's like, he left great chicken for me.
He left a legacy of love, respect, and medium rare chicken, medium rare steak.
He didn't even know how to cook it.
Wow. Yeah, it's like well, either you eat it or you bring it to my gravesite and put it on there. That's just like attracting animals or whatever. So that's that.
You did what you had to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because in real life, you would have said, if I'd asked, Zach, can I have your food? You'd have been like, over my dead body. So I'm like, okay. I just bring his food right to his gravesite.
As long as we go over that you didn't give him the poison.
That's right.
Did you give him the poison?
Oh my goodness, breaking news?
No.
Yeah, good. That's really funny. Wow. That's good stuff. Wow. over my dead body. That's I think that needs to happen, right? Like, I think we need to arrange
Sure.
this. Can I put that in my will? I don't know.
I want at my funeral. I want you guys to have a big steak dinner over at my at my burial.
Really just like break some bread, you know,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
Hey,
I don't know.
I think you can make that sweet.
Yeah.
You could add something to
No,
it.
barring that I'm not the last one alive. That would be awkward.
That would be
of like our family. Then it would be like no
Just
one's there to
Random people just eating steak over
Yeah,
here.
that'd be a little weird. As long as I'm the first one to go, then you guys can all have, at least the family can, that'd be good. So
Zach, I'm counting on it.
I know. We all no.
Sam's like, that's the next good meal I'll have.
A whole nother meaning of Last Supper. So yeah, yeah.
Well, that is very sweet of you for letting Sam have your last meal.
You know what? You didn't actually eat it though. That's the
No,
thing.
you
He didn't
did.
actually eat it.
What a brother!
There we
There's
go.
the definition.
You're
of
welcome.
a brother. When you're down suffering, being poisoned, your other brother doesn't eat your own
That's
food.
right. That's right. Even though he really wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
yeah.
at his neck.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fat. I'm sorry.
I was like, wait, what? Oh, his neck. Oh, yeah. I think that's our thing. We'll have to bring up a couple times on each one. Just bring up Sam's neckle region.
Are you self-conscious on your neck?
I'm absolutely not self-conscious.
Okay.
I used to be.
Okay.
That's how you know I'm not lying.
That would be
here, because I
awful.
used to be super self-conscious.
Okay.
And he ridiculed me all the time. You did too.
I think that's definitely.
Actually, you did it less.
It's definitely like 40% our fault. 40% our fault as far as the self-confidence issue, as far as that goes, because we do make fun of him for it.
I've kind of just grown into it literally and mentally.
That's true. That's true. You should have seen it before. Have you seen? You know how frogs do like this when they breathe? They blow out the bubble. Sam was just like he had the bubble out the whole time.
I just do one of these.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well,
I'm known as the fat guy.
I do have to say, in the next episode,
He's known as a pale, skinny guy.
we may have to explore.
And he's known as the patchy beard guy.
the psychological things that from the older brother that has trickled down and like either disturbed, especially the younger brother, like all the mental problems. I don't know.
I mentioned this in the last podcast, but Zach has scarred me, like when it comes to feet. Because his feet. Oh, he's actually barefoot right now. You want to show the camera?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Again,
It's disgusting.
I don't think the podcast format is appropriate for feet showing. I just a thought, but I feel like, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah,
I
that's a good
completely
idea.
agree.
I think that's a good idea. Is we can do something where we kind of talk about that. Unless I feel like if you have thoughts on that, we can save my feet for the next episode. We can get into it. We can.
Don't worry, I will.
We can really talk
I'll
about
bring
it.
pictures.
Talk about all the nooks and crannies of my feet. And
So you guys stick around. We'll be showing off Zach's feet on the next episode.
okay, all right.
That'll be the
That's not-
thumbnail.
This is not eye candy here. The kid.
And hope you guys, I don't know, got to know us a little better. Sorry, I don't know. It was on a little weirder of a note, not as light, but you know what? We're trying it, and I think it's good. We hit, first one was a little bit more goofy, funny. This one was a little bit more, it had a more serious topic.
Yeah, and if you, and I think what's cool is we're able to. I don't know if you pick this up, but we're able to go. Hey, this is we almost died, and we're laughing about it.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe that's horrible, and you were like, what is happening? These people are psychopaths. But it's like the idea is just that we're able to just go. You know what? That happened, but we're still alive, and so we're we can laugh about it now, right?
Absolutely.
And
be grateful for the situation. And you know what? Our ultimate hope and our hope is in God. Our faith is in God. And you know what? I think all three of us would say, if we die tomorrow, how sad would we actually be?
Yeah, and
Sam, not really.
Yeah, Sam would be happy because he'd get to eat my food. So I think that's what we've.
If I died, can I take your food beyond the grave? I just walked to Heaven's Gates with rare steak. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I have to say, you might have better steak in heaven, but than
I'll be like, can I get in? And then the angel's like, I know it's not about works, but the only way you can get in is if you give me your steak. Give it to me and I'll let you in.
Wow, there's corruption at Heaven's Gates. Wow. Wow, okay. All right, we need to end this thing before it gets too
sacrilegious.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But one thing I'd like to say is that I think now that we've all had death experiences, there's a almost like the peace that comes with it. Like you said, knowing that we're redeemed and we're going to be fine if we die, but also that you know the devil tried to kill us in one way or another, and then God spared us because He had a plan for us, and that's almost like reassuring. Like, hey, I almost died at birth. He almost choked on an orange. I mean, the devil kind of wasn't very creative with that one, but whatever. I mean, A for effort, Zach, he almost died on a rock. Like that's pretty crazy, Like how was that dad able to do that? Like they couldn't explain why I wasn't breathing, and it almost seems like what's going on there? It seems like divine intervention that saved our lives. So
Absolutely.
It's like we've been saved We've been saved for a reason,
He has a time for us, and that time wasn't then, and that's nice to know. You know what?
Yeah.
That wasn't our time, and when our time comes, well, then we'll be dead, and we'll know like, oh, that was our time. And then
it's like from the other side, it's like, yep, that was it. Okay, I didn't think it was, but that's it. Yep, that was it.
Go.
It was
just, oh, I'd have to die with such a weird look on my face. What's that about? Oh, I died with a steakhouse hanging out my mouth. What's that about?
It's like, why did I choose that shirt? Oh. Sam's like worried about his fashion choices. It's like, man,
I cannot believe that. Oh my goodness.
It's like,
what is up with that hair part?
Yeah, I was gonna say I should have had my hair up in a bun. Yeah. All right, we've been rambling on. We should really end this.
I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, guys, and I hope that you enjoy getting to know us because we need someone to talk to, and we need someone to.
We're very lonely.
Yes, so lonely.
We're lonely on Cape Cod. We don't have friends.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Hold on.
So,
I want to keep the outro going longer because I feel like we've made this so much longer. So we're just gonna keep milking this. So we really appreciate you watching. No, I'm just kidding. All right, take us out.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Oh, Donald.
Don?
Don, is he back?
Don?
No.
Okay.
Don is not making an appearance. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
What?